So thank you so much for joining this channel. So we already started a series on Microsoft AI Cloud Foundry, how to create agents, how to leverage all the feature of Microsoft AI agents. I know it's boring, but only creating agent is not enough. To go ahead, we need to take care of other things which will make the agent more secure, reliable, robust, and production friendly. Otherwise, creating agent will be remaining like a POC kind of thing. So that's the reason I'm trying to focus on the other aspects, either from the financial aspect, delivery aspect, or maybe from the security aspect, or how to make it more responsible AI while using the creating the agents. So today we are going to discuss the quota and cost, because nothing is free. Even we are creating agent in the background, you are actually consuming tokens, and token has a cost because model will work based on the token. So we need to understand the, just like in the API development, we do the rate limiting, we add policies why to stop any brute force attack, or maybe no unnecessary API calls, rate limiting. Similarly, we need to manage the cost also. Otherwise, that the cost will be huge. So just try to understand what are the parameters you can look into. So one of the biggest mistake in the AI project is focusing on the building, that I already said, right? Building AI agents, that's fine, but in India or anywhere, I think, except for the few countries, most of the agents are working in the local or in the QA or the UAT, but very few are in the production, because the agent is working, but we don't have any control on the responsibility, don't have control on the cost. Okay, because if the cost is not managed as a company, it doesn't matter whether you are using AI or non-AI or agent, or the previous traditional process. Ultimately, the cost is important, right? So that's the reason we're focusing on the cost today. So most enterprise AI, uncontrolled cost token. So when earlier it is like infrastructure cost or some other cost, right? Now it is a token cost also get included. You selected the model selection in a wrongly way, because you need some thinking or any specific purpose, and you are actually using suppose image model. So wrong choice of model, high end model. Even for simple player, you do not need very high end model. So we've already done that, that how to select model in one of the session, where you can compare the models, you can check the performance, the costing, the token. Okay, so that is already there, but also quota and cost also is a separate activity. So AI solution that costs 500 rupees, I'm talking about from the Indian currency, per month during development, can cost up to 5 lakh month in production. You don't know, right? So you need a dry run also. So in this session, we will try to understand how Cloud Foundry pricing works, token consumption, quotas, rate limit, cost optimization, and governance. Without governance, nothing will work properly. So you need to understand some of the terminology: TPM, RPM, consumption cost. Just like Azure cloud, we do a cost estimation, right? How much it will cost if I go for a cloud? What are the cost of the provisioning resources? Similarly, now we have already reached the cloud, but today is the AI world. AI world understand token. So TPM, RPM, token, model selection, cost. These are the parameters which will help you to build a agent which is more reliable, production friendly. So now cost management matters, and most developer thinks the text ID, suppose prompt response. Okay, I am getting a prompt, giving prompt, I'm getting good response. But do you know behind the scene what is happening? It is consuming token. It is a token is nothing but your money. Now maybe you are using ChatGPT free version. Think about the company who is spending, dollar in the in AI tokens, right? Because they have the cloud cost also, token cost also. So they need to understand the business, how much profit they are gaining. So enterprise, suppose there are 100 employees, right? And everybody given a ChatGPT 20 question per day, 2000 requests daily, 60,000, and now multiply by this model RAG you are using, evaluation. So cost becomes significant, right? You cannot ignore the cost part. So AI model changes the best. So output token, input token, output token. I'm taking the same HR assistant, request, can I forward the leave? Prompt token, response token, all equal to billable token. So what is token? So I think you already know that the hello world, there are two token approximately. Larger prompt, 500 words, more con token. Cost formula, input token plus output token equal to billable token or total token. And that cost depends on model selection, region, which region, like in the cloud, you select which region you want to use the cloud services. Similarly, pricing tier, just like app service plan, we have pricing tier. Similarly, we have pricing tier for this AI world also. Not talking about the quotas. There's a quota fix. Microsoft AI Cloud Foundry applies limit. So that's the reason now this terminology came. Token per minute, request per minute, model throughput. So suppose there are 10, the 1 lakh TPM, token per minute. You cannot exceed that. If you exceed, request will be throttled. Similarly, just like the APIM works in, or you handle the APIs. RPM, request per minute, more request, rate limiting. So request per minute, more request. So token per minute, request per minute. How many requests are coming? So the demo. So AI Foundry, we are using model deployment. So you create a project and then it deploy a model, and quotas will show TPM, RPM, and throughput. Now view uses, you can go to the monitoring part and observe token uses, request count, model uses, right? In the monitoring part. Estimate cost 100 employees, 20 question per day. So that means average 1000 token per request. Calculation 1000 into 20 into 100. 100 employee, 20 question, and 1000 token per request. Monthly cost in million, 60 million token. Evaluation cost. So it is a estimate cost. View uses, explore quotas, right? Now you are doing evaluation cost. So you have to evaluate also, right? Evaluation you have done in one of the series. Without evaluation, you cannot predict how the model or the agent is performing. Again, token cost. Even I also spent some token in the demo session. Cost sources. User asks question, RAG, retrieval knowledge, right? Evaluate what? Quality testing. Fine tuning, we already done training jobs. Monitoring means observability storage. So model selection strategy key, wrong approach. Don't go everywhere GPT for everything. Expensive. You have to check which model is give you the right output but low cost. Just like you are selecting something in the market. Better approach, simple question, complex question, GPT. This is called model routing. So classify simple model you can use. Model routing. So route to this. Capacity planning before production ask. Always remember when your agent is ready, UAT tested, but before production, you ask this question: how many users? What will be the load? How many requests will come? How many tokens? What SLA? This terminology, this KPIs you need to understand before dropping into the production. Otherwise, it will be with beyond your control. Company size 1000 employee, average 10 per day request, suppose daily request. So need quota planning. So quota planning we already discussed how to do the quotas. TPM, RPM throughput. So technique one, use smaller models, reduce to prompt size, reduce prompt size because bigger prompt, bigger, handling cost. Use RAG instead of giant prompts. You can refer the documents. Frequently ask question, cache. If you can cache the static data, no need to call the model also. You can reduce the cost. So RAG system cost, reduce the cost. Simple model will reduce the cost. Unless I don't make big prompt size. So prompt refinement is very important. Evaluate selectively, not every deployment. If you saw simple model, don't go for evaluation. But if it is a complex one, definitely, because evaluation has its own cost. Multi-agent, right? And there are multiple HR, IT, finance, multiple model calls from different agent, higher cost. So track, these are the KPIs. Just remember token uses, monthly spend, model uses, team uses, agent uses. How much agent is using, how much team is using, model uses monthly. Monitoring dashboard, cost, latency, token uses. Production architecture, user, application, foundry, definitely foundry, model, agents, evaluating, monitoring, and cost dashboard. These are the common mistakes. We discuss how we can decide which model should take, what are the KPIs we need to check. But common mistake is expensive model, everyone know. Everywhere ChatGPT 4 no, Mini is there, the other model is there. Coding, Claude is there. Ignoring quotas, don't ignore quotas, otherwise you will end up in expending more money rather than doing a profitable business. Huge prompt, that is another mistake. If you can manage with RAG, go for that. Okay, running evaluation, don't do evaluation, you do for complex cases or selective cases. Don't do evaluation for each and everything, otherwise your consumption will be very high. And even if you discuss so many things, but if you are not monitoring at least any of the parameter, you will end up in a disaster. So start with model. Just check the token users, implement model routing, monitor monthly cost, plan quotas before production, optimize RAG. If your RAG is strong, if you're building something, then you do not need multiple, bigger prompts to manage. User application foundry, token cost, monitoring optimization. This flow to be remembered. So key learning, this is very important. Maybe it is a look like okay, that is not required. We are building high class agents, but without cost, everything is useless. Cost management, quota planning, model routing, governance. If these three, four things you know, then AI, you are making responsible, reliable, robust, and maintainable agents for long term. Otherwise, your agent will be decommissioned, or you will decommission if it is going beyond your budget. So hope you understand what are the things you need to require: cost, quota, model routing, user application, and this is the flow. You already done that up to this, but we are trying to understand the cost, monitoring, and the so monitoring is not only for the exception handling or the errors. Also need to check how much is the cost. So if we go to the until unless you understand the other factors apart from creating agents, you will never be able to make it production friendly. So if you go to the operate, there's a quota, token per minute. See, we have already used this right for rack system for normal cases, region, deployment site, token per minute we have used. Rate limiting we haven't set up. You can set up this. If your code request, if your quota is limited, you can request the quota also. That was option is there. So here from the quota, and if you go to the build, if you click on this agent, you can check from the monitor also. Matrix token uses evaluation, you can configure. So these two things you can check. By date wise, you can check. So we already covered fine-tuned tools, knowledge, memory, evaluation, cartlets, deployments, right? Deployments taking the right model for right purposes. Otherwise, it will cost will increase. So remember this, architecture. Remember these best practices, how you will start so that you can manage. Check the mistakes you should not do while building the agent. Otherwise, cost will go high. And these are the KPIs. Thank you so much. Next, we will try to build a comprehensive solution using .NET, using all the features as a last, or you can say almost we are closing in for this Microsoft AI Cloud Foundry. Thank you.